12-minute delay at the start of the game. Kinsler 4 for his last 13. And Pettit deals just outside. The home plate umpire is Hunter Wendelstedt. The 1-1. 2-1. Let's meet the rest of the umps. I told you about Wendelstedt behind the plate. Brian Knight's at first. Dana DeMute, the crew chief, is at second. Doug Eddings, a lot of people complimented the job he did last night with people throwing at people. He's the third base ump tonight. And quickly, the count is 3-1 on Ian Kinsler.
You kind of touched on it, Michael, by him not warning a pitcher where you know, Burnett couldn't do something back. Then it kind of rolls into today, where it should be over today, and you just go out and play a baseball game.
Andy Pettit walks Ian Kinsler. A bad way to start the game for Andy.
Andy, I mean, after strike one with a good cutter, all of a sudden you look up and you walk Kinsler. And last night it was so obvious from first in the inning where Kinsler got on base and stole that the Rangers feel like they can run on Posada at this point. But you know, with Andy Pettit's move, it's a different ball game over there.
Here's Michael Young, and the pitch is up and away. 1-0. Rangers stole 3 bases against the Yankees last night. Yankees have won 8 of Andy's 10 starts this year. There's a strike. We gave you the numbers on Andy. He gives up a lot of hits. There are a lot of base runners, but the important thing this year is that opponents are hitting .213 against him with runners in scoring position. 13 for 61. So he knows how to grind.
Reminds me a lot of Jimmy Key. He always had a knack to get that big out, get that double play to save himself some runs. And, you know, and it also shows that he's not afraid to throw strikes. I mean, if he gives up base hits, so what? He'd rather do that than walk people. Knows that he's always got a chance for that double play and making that big pitch to get out of the inning.
A 1-1. Punts the other way and out of play. Now, Andy's ERA in New York is about 2.5 times higher than it is on the road. He's also been unable to keep the ball in the ballpark here in New York. But if you ask Andy Pettit, he doesn't care, because Paul just told you they win with Andy Pettit on the mound here at Yankee Stadium. He said, I don't care about ERA. He said, as long as we win, I don't care if I give up home runs. The key thing is that the team gets a victory. So far, so good. Strike 3, Michael Young down looking.
Again, here's a pitch out and away, kind of borderline pitch up and borderline pitch on the corner. Andy Pettit gets the call. This was such a tough at bat for me. I remember going through rain delays where you don't get out on the field. I mean, you hit underneath in the cages, but it's not like your regular routine of batting practice on the field and everything is on schedule and you're kind of waiting like today. You know, we're 12 minutes late, but there's still that question mark on your head. Is it going to be 12 minutes? Is it going to be an hour? And until you get the game started and get underneath, what's going on?
Andrew Jones wraps a single to left field. Moving to third is Ian Kinsler. Here's the throw. It's a little bit wide. Kind of caught Johnny Damon sleeping a bit. Ian Kinsler takes the extra base. And you can see the Rangers are going to try to push it against the Yankees in this series. They tried yesterday, but the Yankees just outslugged them.
Again, Andrew Jones gets a good pitch to hit. And this isn't the first time that he and Andy Pettit have matched up, and drives into left field. Jeet can't knock it down. And you're right, Michael. I mean, it's known around the league if it's an iffy, should I go or shouldn't I go? You see Kinsler wrap, and all of a sudden it clicks in your mind. That's Johnny Damon. I'm going to test him. The good thing here is Andrew Jones didn't get out of the box and didn't follow him to second base.
There's Nelson Cruz with a big home run yesterday against Burnett. Really the only noise they made against Burnett and the Yankees. Count 1-0. Former MVP last year of the Pacific Coast League. And he's put up very good numbers so far this year.
I was talking to the batting coach yesterday about Nelson Cruz, and kind of a funny story. I mean, he's a unbelievable hitter, off to a great start, but didn't start playing baseball until he was 16 years old. He was a kind of a prodigy as a basketball player, and just the game and the hitting part of the game especially came very natural to him.
Hitting coach is Rudy Jaramillo, widely considered the best hitting coach in baseball. People swear by him.
Great thought. If you just sit and talk to him, and he was asking me certain things, he tries to take in things. He tries to learn from ex-players, and ex-players try to learn from him, because you're right. I mean, he's got just great insight on how to hit, and especially this is an important time, how to hit in certain kind of situations.
Look what he's done with Andrew Jones. People thought Andrew Jones was done. The Rangers took a flyer on him, and he's hitting over 280 now with that single. And that might not seem a lot, but he was hopeless with the Dodgers last year. Fly ball down the right field line, and it's just going to make the seats. Cabrera had no shot.
Michael, you think about it, though, and you're talking about Cruz. Most guys on this field right now have been playing baseball since, 5, 6, 7 years old, gone through Little League, Pony League, American League, the whole thing. You kind of live that as your life. Here's a guy who just played basketball, and all of a sudden, 16 years old, I'm going to start playing a little baseball. Down the road, he's in the major league.
Two is not made as Andy goes over to first, chasing Jones back. First time Andy Pettitte ever faced Andrew Jones was the second inning of Game 1 of the 1996 World Series, and as a 19-year-old, Andrew Jones hit a home run. At that time, he was the youngest player to homer in the World Series. Hit another homer that day as well. The Yankees went down 2-0 in that series and came back and won 4 in a row. 2-2. Right back up the middle off the leg of Pettitte, and everybody's going to be safe as a run scores. That'll be a single for Cruz. It might have been a double play if it got past Pettitte, but that's somewhat questionable. He slowed it down with his body, but it ricocheted away from Robinson Cano.
Getting ball away. Cruz goes up the middle, trying to get off Andy's shin. I'm sure he'll feel that for the night's over. Curveball down. Ouch.
What do you think, Paul? You think that Cano makes a double play on that?
I don't know. That ball's hit pretty well. And dead up the middle.
Here's David Murphy. Pitch outside, 1-0. A lot of rain around baseball. Rain delay. The Giants against the Nationals. The Mets and the Pirates have already been rained out in Pittsburgh. This game held up 12 minutes.
Randy Johnson pitching.
Yes, going for his 300th win.
That's quite a milestone, and it's funny. I heard today some people talking about who will be the next 300.
Might not be.
It might be a kid that's in 4th grade right now, is the quote that I heard, and I thought it was pretty funny.
There's a strike. The closest right now is Jamie Moyer with 250 wins, but he's 46 years old.
Right.
And there's Randy Johnson's resume. 5 Cy Young awards, 4 of them in a row with the Diamondbacks. No hitter against the Tigers. Perfect game against Atlanta.
Good curveball right there. I mean, Andy Pettitte always had some trouble keeping left-handers from getting in. He learned his two-seamer in, and now he gets away with that good curveball away. You can see that front hip just flying open. First time. As soon as you do that against a left-handed hitter, you've pretty much given away that outside part of the plate.
Chasing Andrew Jones back.
With Andy's move to first, it's a much easier attempt to steal off of him trying to get third base.
The pitch. And he's 1 pitch away from loading the bases. Marlon Byrd is on deck.
And this is a tough call for a manager, because you've just seen a couple bad swings from Murphy, so you got to think about striking out. So can you send your runners 3-2 with a left-handed batter? You hate to, in the first inning, run yourself out of a big inning.
They don't go, and Murphy walks. So Andy's second walk of the inning, and now the bases are loaded. And Dave Island wants to talk things over with the veteran left-hander. Now, if you joined us late, the Yankees made a big decision before the game. Tomorrow's starter is scheduled to be CC Sabathia. That's not going to happen. Chien-Ming Wang will pitch tomorrow. CC Sabathia is going to pitch on Friday. The reason they did that, they want to separate the lefties in the rotation, Pettit and Sabathia. So Chien-Ming Wang goes tomorrow, and Phil Hughes moves into the bullpen. And Chien-Ming Wang will have a pitch limit of about 80 for tomorrow. Big spot in the game early. Marlon Byrd at the plate with the bases loaded. Foul back. With the injury to Josh Hamilton, Marlon Byrd moves into center field. Hamilton dealing with some kind of abdominal injury. They're not sure if it's a sports hernia. It's been lingering, and that's why they finally shut him down. The 0-1. Ground ball to Jeter. Backhanded. He goes to second one, and that's all they get. Run scores. It's 2-0 Texas. Good play by Jeter, ranging to the backhand side.
You know, anytime a shortstop has to move to his right, chances are you're not going to turn a double play. Jeet makes a great play here. Big thing is, you know, get the ball to Robinson Cano, who made a good stretch, and get that one out. Not the first time you've seen Jeet going to his right there. He seems real comfortable with that. You see Andy Pettit cheering him on, got that one out.
Now Posada giving the signs to the infielders if they're going to throw through if Byrd goes. So Cruz is at third and Byrd is at first. He picks up an RBI. It's 25th. Missed outside to Chris Davis. Chris, as we mentioned yesterday, is an all or nothing at all guy. He either strikes out or seemingly he hits a home run.
It's funny, last night, if you think about his outs, he made about 1,000 foot of outs last night. He flied out to the wall, I think, 3 times. A couple good plays. Frustrating thing for a hitter, especially when you're having trouble making contact.
How about this stat, Paul? Chris Davis has played 49 games this year. He struck out 78 times. In Major League history, the only player to strike out as often as Davis through his first 50 games of the season was Alex Gonzalez, who had 82 strikeouts through his first 50 games in 0-2 for the Cubs. One player in big league history. A lot of strikeouts in that Ranger order with Davis and Saltalamacchia. That one is looped to right field. Coming on as Cabrera's going to dunk in for a base hit. 1 run scores. Byrd goes to third, and he's out. Good throw by Melky Cabrera to end the inning. Byrd tried to push the envelope, but Melky, showing off that arm, gunned a bullet on one hop to Alex Rodriguez. Steadied himself, got the angle, and fired to third. A-Rod applied the tag. Texas 3, Yankees coming to bat. against Texas. Hideki Matsui will DH. Big home run in yesterday's game. He'll hit 7. Batting 8th, playing right field, Melky Cabrera, and Brett Gardner in center will bat 9th. Mark Teixeira's ankle a little balky after that slide yesterday. X-rays were negative, but he was scratched from the lineup. Scott Feldman started the season in the bullpen, went to the rotation. He's been great. 4-0, 3.9, one less than a hit per inning. 26 strikeouts, 17 walks. Opponents hit 225 against him. Let's take a look now at the G pitcher scouting report, Paul.
Well, you mentioned it, pen relief. I mean, he started in the season, and ever since he's been in the rotation, he's done a great job. I mean, he's a roadie. He's not a homie like Andy Pettitte. He's been 3-0 on the road this year. In quality, I mean, quality starts his last 5 trips to the mound. So he's been really, really good for the Rangers since they put him in the starting rotation.
Here's Jeter, 16-game hitting streak, 8 of his last 9 games a hit in the first inning. And the pitch is inside, 1-0. Andy giving up 3 runs in the first inning. He's now allowed 8 runs in the first inning this year, and that's more than any other frame. We told you about Derek's 16-game hitting streak, 429 during that streak. Chop right back to Feldman. And there's one away. Good play by Feldman. Let's take a look at the Texas defense, brought to you by our good friends at Home Depot. In the outfield, left to right, David Murphy, Marlon Byrd, and Nelson Cruz. In the infield, you've got Young, Andrus, Kinsler, and Davis. Andrus has had errorless baseball in his last 20 games. He had 7 in his first 24, so he straightened things out. Saltalamacchia behind the plate, and Scott Feldman, the 26-year-old righty, is on the mound. Here's Nick Swisher. Moved up to number 2 in the lineup with Teixeira scratched. Did not start yesterday's game. He was in right field in the original lineup. It was Gardner who was not in the original lineup. But they moved Melky from center to right. Gardner plugged in at center, and Swisher moved from right to first. There's a strike.
You see Feldman. I mean, he'll work the ball away. He's got a little cut fastball. You know, he's got 4 pitches, a changeup, a curveball. He pretty much uses everything, and that's why when he came into the starting rotation, he was ready for it. He had more than 1 pitch.
That one is driven to right field. It's going to be a base hit. It's going to get past Cruz and go to the wall. Nick Swisher motors, goes to second. Head first slide. It's a double.
We just got finished saying he's got that little cut fastball. When you don't get that cut fastball in on a lefty, he leaves that one right over the inside corner, and Swisher quick enough to hammer it down the right field line. Kind of pulls those hands in to bring the barrel to the baseball. So easy in slow motion, doesn't it, Mike?
Never was easy for me.
You never were able to slow that game down? Is that what you're telling me?
No. Didn't come close. Here's Johnny Damon. You see Johnny starts with that open stance and then slowly moves it closer. What's he trying to do with that ball?
Well, if you watch a hitter, if you want the ball away, you close your stance. And if you want the ball, if you have trouble with the ball on this inner part of the plate, then you open up, and it allows you to be a little bit more quicker. So, pitchers usually can tell if a guy struggles with the ball inside, then he'll open his stance, and vice versa. If I'm facing the lefty, I'm going to close off a little bit. And you see that it just allows those hips to fly open a little bit quicker and cover that inside pitch.
Now, since he's moving that front leg as the pitch is coming, can he jam himself?
No, I mean, obviously he can if you lunge forward, but it's just with that opening, you see the ball a little bit better, and you're not, you don't close yourself off by stepping across, towards the third baseman. It's a different style of hitting.
And he also seems to be tapping that foot in a timing device. You did that as well. How does that work with the timing?
Well, the whole thing is a rhythm of hitting, and it also, by kind of putting a little leg kick in it, it allows you to not lunge at the ball and kind of keep your weight back a little bit when you step forward.
Damon swings and misses 2-2.
You see him tap that foot. I mean, again, you're just kind of finding a rhythm, little leg kick to try to stay back as much as you can. If you get out there too quick, then all your weight gets forward before the ball gets there. You lose all your power.
Now, did you not have that toe tap when you first got to the Yankees?
No, I didn't hit with it in Cincinnati, and that was my biggest problem. Is I lunged at the ball. You know, you go out and try to hit the ball with your body instead of allowing your hands to work. And Rick Downs and I messed around with it a little bit in the cage a couple days in spring training, and all of a sudden it became pretty comfortable. And I remember it was something I had to think about probably the first month of the season or so before it became just something you did.
Rick Down at the time, the Yankee hitting coach under Buck Showalter when Paul joined the team. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Way out in front. Good pitch by Scott Feldman.
Good pitch. You saw a couple hard inside fastballs in that at bat, and then all of a sudden you look for that ball inside. Kind of takes a little bit off, throws a breaking ball. You're right, Michael, way out front. That's what happens when you get, we talked about that weight getting ahead too quick, and all of a sudden you start looking inside. You want to get that front foot down, and your weight comes with you, and you're fooled on those curveballs.
Here's Alex Rodriguez.
You got a Florida Gator there behind the home plate tonight.
That's right.
See there?
Good call on that. I guess that's the T-shirt he's wearing underneath the protector.
Look at that. Oh.
How did you see that?
I don't know. That emblem is stuck out to me. I don't know that I've ever seen an alligator behind the plate, you know.
Somewhere Urban Meyer and Billy Donovan smiling. Urban, the football coach at the University of Florida, and Billy Donovan from this area, Long Island, is their basketball coach. Each of them with a couple of national championships. And the 1-1. Line drive, base hit, left field. Swisher rounds third. Here he comes. He'll score. It's an RBI single for A-Rod. Yankees on the board. It's 3-1 Texas.
Right before this pitch was thrown, I was just going to say, you know, this is when Alex Rodriguez has to worry about just driving that run in. But I tell you what, this is a single, but this ball was hammered. It was hit so hard that it kind of took the left fielder out of his rhythm and going to home plate. No throw. That ball was just hit hard. Murphy moving towards the line, had no chance at Swisher, especially with 2 outs. Good piece of hitting by Alex Rodriguez. I mean, you score a lot of runs by just driving in people with singles.
For Alex's 21st run batted in, so the Yankees answer the 3 spot with 1 and still batting here in the bottom of the first. And here's Robinson Cano. Now that's the one part of A-Rod's game we have not seen. The average is creeping up. The power has been there. He's playing better in the field. We have not seen him try to run. And that might be the last thing to come. Well,
last night, you remember, you talked about it. It was kind of strange. They were up by 6 runs at the time, and he did. I think he's feeling better every day.
There's a ground ball to second base off the bat of Cano, and that's going to do it. But the Yankees answer back with a run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We played 1 here at the stadium. Texas 3 and the Yankees 1. Verizon Fios, over 100 AC channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. Brandon McCarthy will start for the Rangers against Chin Ming Wang. His ERA a high of 34.50, dropping steadily. Coverage begins at 12:30, and it's a matinee, so mark that down. First pitch right around 1:05. Here's Jared Saltalamacchia, and the pitch is high. Saltalamacchia, and it was very stark yesterday after the game, did not defend his pitcher. Said I had nothing to do with it. And he said that A.J. Burnett had every right to do what he did, throwing up and in at Nelson Cruz. So when your pitcher says, or your catcher says that, you can tell that within that clubhouse, Vicente Padilla is not embraced.
Yeah, I mean, when you see something like that last night, you know there's going to be trouble. And when you're an everyday player, you know that you've got a chance of getting hurt. And, once, like I said, that first one almost got by. The second was so intentional that you almost put the other team in a position where you know something has to happen.
Well, I was told today, talking to some Ranger people, he always throws at Ichiro's knees in the first inning. And Ichiro's always able to get out of it. And when he wants to intentionally walk somebody, he just hits him so he doesn't get a walk on his record. But I had Peter Gammons on my radio show today, and he said that Padilla was put on waivers either yesterday or today. That doesn't mean that anything's going to happen. But if somebody claims him as Saltalamacchia down looking, then the Rangers could say take him and they save the $8 million, or they could pull him back.
You see this and you see Saltalamacchia kind of question it. And the reason he did is because there was such a delay. Wendelstein, sometimes as a hitter, you assume that you don't hear something immediately, that it's a ball. And then you hear that late strike call. Kind of surprises you. You don't see catchers argue very much because they always want that umpire on their side.
Andrus takes a pitch high. Rookie shortstop, so good they moved Michael Young to third after winning a Gold Glove. Pitch is high.
It's funny, and you talked about last night that teams might run on Jorge Posada until he shows that he's throwing well again, and you got to keep it in the back of your mind. If Alex Rodriguez is moving like he always has at third base, teams come in here thinking they're going to bunt. So that's a couple question marks that will be proven either way throughout the season.
Remember, Minnesota did it a lot. They wanted to bunt constantly. Count 3-1. Some teams are starting to make moves right now. We told you about the waivers of Padilla. The Pirates traded one of their really good young players, Nate McLouth, to the Braves for 3 good prospects from Atlanta. There's a strike. Braves just can't hit. I mean, they simply can't hit. Jeff Francoeur has not been able to do it. And you look at what McLouth has done: 256, 9 home runs, 34 ribbies, 7 for 7 stolen bases. And the 3 prospects, an outfielder and 1 righty and 1 lefty pitcher. So Andrus redirects that pitch into center field for a base hit.
You see some guys getting some good swings on Andy, and if you see why, he's getting behind in the count. He's usually pitching ahead, and that's something he's going to have to fix here early in the game.
Hey, Yankee fans, go to MetLife.com/Yankees for your chance to present the MetLife Player of the Month award on the field at Yankee Stadium. Simply visit MetLife.com/Yankees for official rules. There's no purchase necessary, and it's void where prohibited. And sweepstakes sponsor is Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. And Nick Swisher's April's winner of the MetLife Player of the Month, and he was great in April. Not great there, stopping that throw from Andy Pettitte, so that'll go into right field as Andrus will stop at second base. So that'll be an error on Andy Pettitte.
Again, we talk about Andy Pettitte's good move. All of a sudden he throws that one. It tails into the runner. And Nick Swisher not ahead and far enough ahead of the bag where he can reach across into the ball, and Andrus gets there at the same time. Comes a tough play.
So after 18 straight games without an error, a major league record, they now make errors on consecutive nights. And both of them throwing errors, one by Posada on an attempted steal and one there on that attempted pickoff. Keeping Andrus close. Kinsler walked and scored in the first inning. It's 3-1 Rangers. We're in the second. The start of the game was delayed by 12 minutes because of rain. And the odd thing, the way it was raining about 6:30, you didn't think that there was going to be baseball tonight. It was really coming down. But it cleared quickly, and the grounds crew did an unbelievable job. This field drains beautifully, so probably looks as if it rained. Maybe a little bit of some shine on the warning track. 1-1. Did it used to bother you, Paul, that most of the rain was always dumped in right field?
I never figured it out. It's like right field doesn't count or anything. It didn't. How about left field once in a while? Anything.
1-1.
You know, even in Little League, when the lawnmower ran out of gas, I mean, what do? You don't even cut right field. There was something about right field that just it's not taken care of like the rest of the field.
Well, right field at Little League is usually, where,
stick to scrub.
Yeah,
the
heavy kid.
The guy that looks at butterflies during the pitches and stuff. Yeah, I understand.
Runner goes to third. Throw to third. Not in time. Stolen base.
And there's no doubt that Texas has come into this series and say, we're going to make this a priority. Every time we get an opportunity to run, we're going to try to run. And with Andy Pettit's move to first, stealing third, much easier. And again, a lot of these times, I think these are given signs, because you see the hitters, turn around to fake bunt, which kind of guards that catcher from getting a good look at the ball.
Yankees bring the infield in, and that one is rocketed foul. Almost hit Andrus. And another broken bat. And again, that annoys you. He traded in a light bat for a dark bat.
Yeah, it's just weird for me, because I think that as a hitter, you get so used to looking at the label the same way, the same bat, and to have a natural bat and then go to a black bat is completely different.
3-2. Punched out and past a lunging Swisher and down the right field line. Andrus scores. Melky comes up, ready to throw. And a base hit for Ian Kinsler, an RBI, and it's now 4-1 Texas.
And the black bat had a hit in it, see that? But I tell you what, infield back possibly, but you look at a good piece of hitting right here. Ball away. Ian Kinsler, you talked about how good a player he was. Infield in, hit it hard somewhere, good chances it's going to go through. Swisher, good effort right down the line, though. He can't get to it.
Kinsler a threat to run. Here's Michael Young. And there's an off-speed pitch for a strike.
You talked about Atlanta, that they just can't hit, and they've always been an organization known for pitching, and all of a sudden, you're seeing kind of a reversal with Texas. They've always had a great offense, and they still do have a good offense, but they're starting pitching, and their bullpen right now is with a good closer, and they're kind of, it's kind of a role reversal, and it has to have a lot to do with who's running the show over there with Nolan Ryan.
Line drive to center field. It's a base hit. Andy Pettit really struggling as Gardner comes up throwing. Kinsler moves to second. Crowd starting to get restless. And that is the 6th hit for the Rangers.
If you look at what's going on, it's just, you see his head down, driving it back up, and he's just kind of nickel and diming the pitcher. And that's what this team is doing right now. No home runs, no big hits, but pressure on the pitcher. Every guy having an opportunity to keep that thing going. And right now, Andy Pettit can't get ahead to make his good pitch. He's kind of pitching behind.
Now, Andy in his last start struggled with a sore lower back. There was some question about whether or not he was going to make this start. And he did his throwing between starts, said that he felt better than he had before he made that last start against Cleveland. And that's why he's taking the ball tonight. So you can't say it's the back. If you take the ball, then I guess you're feeling okay. Very dangerous part of this lineup now. Here's Andrew Jones. Texas 3 for 4 with runners in scoring position so far tonight. Now, how odd is this ball? Andrew Jones is playing, and he's not in center field. I mean, Andrew Jones used to be one of the best center fielders you'll ever see.
If not, especially in the National League. And he was the type of guy that would go up to the plate and almost he was daring you to hit it over his head. He played the most shallow center field I think I've ever seen. And I tell you what, he knew how to turn on the ball.
Let's see if this is a double play. There's one. On to first, it's a double play. So Andy got exactly what he needed, and he is barking at himself as he is struggling tonight and trying to keep it together. For the Rangers, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. 4-1 Texas.
His knee injuries. Is he a good fielder at first too?
You know what? That was just when I was starting to get into baseball, so I'd be fibbing now if I knew how he played. I never heard that he was great,
right,
but I don't think he was a hack at first. He was a good athlete. Here's Posada. There's a strike. I don't think he was done that.
You know what? You talk about 2 guys, and I played behind both of them in right field with Mattingly and Martinez. And I'm telling you what, Mattingly was unbelievable, but watching Tino day in and day out, those are 2 of the best defensive first basemen I've ever seen.
I actually feel, Paul, and I guess you would agree when you say what you just said, that Tino was the best player never to win a Gold Glove.
Yeah, there's so many guys that just go out and play the game, and if the coach moves you, he moves you, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. Tino did all this stuff on his own. He was a kind of a thinking guy out there, and knew a lot about the game and the small parts of the game, what hitters were doing at the plate, what pitchers were trying to do. Just a smart player, and he had some really good defensive years to never win a Gold Glove, right?
And one of the great injustices, he lost a Gold Glove to Rafael Palmeiro one year when Palmeiro played 28 games at first and the rest of the games at DH. That's just wrong. The 1-2 is looped into left field. It's a base hit off the bat of Jorge Posada. Posada now 7 for 20 since coming out the DL, so he did not lose his stroke missing those 22 games.
He had a couple games back, but again, you see, it's usually a week. It seems like it's a little quicker today. Georgia swung the bat last night. Unbelievable from the right side and the left side. Good pitch right there. He's beat a little bit inside. But you see him pull those hands in, get the bat, and just drive it to left field. Again, if you're Andy Pettitte, you got to go in there and you think, our guys are swinging the bats. Good chance this team's going to score some runs for me. If I can just find that good fastball and curveball and cutter to start shutting them down, chances are I'm going to be in a decision late in this game.
Well, we just dug up some stats on Mantle. 262 total games at first and 67 and 68. He made 23 errors, so I guess
See,
it wasn't great.
Now you're telling me he was a hack. It was Mickey Mantle, right?
He was Mickey Mantle. He could have played there without a glove. He's still Mickey Mantle. Shattered bat. And caught by Davis. And the bat like a lawn dart in the grass there at first.
This might sound real funny, dude, but I mean, that's really good base running by Posada right there. Your natural tendency as a base runner, as soon as you see the guy start to swing, and you watch that bat just shattered, your natural reaction is to cross over and start going to the next base. Georgie froze, got back to first base easy.
You know, that's funny the way that bat ended up. We'll see how Posada did freeze. But that could be a guy's leg. I mean, if somebody doesn't get out of the way, that becomes a weapon. Wow.
Danny Cunningham, the ground screw's got to go out and fix that divot now.
Here's Melky Cabrera. Another broken bat. Right back to Feldman. Off balance throw to second. On to first. Boy, that was turned beautifully. A 1-6-3 double play as Feldman gets out of the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and no. All-Star game. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. And here are your choices. Number 1, Robinson Cano. Number 2, Johnny Damon. Number 3, Jorge Posada. Number 4, Alex Rodriguez. Number 5, Mark Teixeira. Why isn't Derek Jeter on that list? Is it just a given that he's going to make it?
I'm just you win all the votes. You know, everybody vote for Jeter anyway. You want a poll vote tonight. You know, you don't want an obvious.
But you don't want to, rook the poll.
He's cheap. You know, he's the all-star shortstop. It's just the way it is. Wouldn't you say?
I would say, but I think our fans should vote, get a chance to push that digit. Modell's scoreboard 4-1 Texas over the Yankees. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. And the count 2-0 to Nelson Cruz. Is this just one of those days that Andy doesn't have it, or can he straighten himself out?
You know, the neat thing about it, if you're Joe Girardi, is the first couple innings, one of those nights where he's really struggling. But as a veteran pitcher, he could turn this thing around, kind of like Burnett did last night. And you know, with a young pitcher, you would really be alarmed. But you know, you're pitching against, and you're having a tough night control-wise with a team that's pretty confident and has won a lot of games lately. So you're pitching without your best stuff against a good team, and that's a tough matchup.
Well, those two have had a lot of conversations over the years. Andy came up in '95, Jorge toward the end of that year. 164 games together, so that's a full season those two have been used as a battery.
It's a full season plus a couple postseason starts. You see that?
Now, Bob Lorenz just texted me, Paul. He said the reason that Derek is not on that list because he is actually leading at the position. So the other guys are not. Which one's more likely to get?
It's impressive. He's sitting watching with us. You know,
he's right here.
Yeah, he's not like watching another show or something. That's on the side or something.
That's because they're all repeats now.
Yeah.
Also, Kenny's in the studio. Ken Singleton. Kenny will insist on watching the game.
See Andy Pettit again. Good curveball to the left-hander tonight. The only problem is he's got so many stacked righties against him. Got to get control of his two-seam fastball where he can start working that changeup in also. Kind of a show-me pitch, a fastball, kind of setting up for this next curveball in my mind. But again, Jorge Posada is going to try everything he can to try to find some kind of rhythm where Andy Pettit can pitch ahead in the count and get him through, 5, 6, 7 innings.
David Murphy walked in the first inning, count 2-2 on Murphy. And there's a ground ball through for a base hit. Cruz will stop at second. Boy, they respect Melky's arm now. And first and second, nobody out. Andy's struggles continue.
Again, he did set up that count for that curveball, and Murphy kind of reached for it. Got a kind of a seeing eye bleeder, kind of a cut fastball away. Breaking ball, either one, but you see not a great swing, and every once in a while as a hitter, when you put it in play, it's got a chance to find a hole.
No movement in the Yankee bullpen, so they're hanging with Pettit for a while. Marlon Byrd swings and misses. There's the Andy cutter.
You're running out of pitches here, Andy. There's 3 shakeoffs. So again, you don't see this between Posada and Pettit very often, where they can't, they can't make up their mind exactly what they're going to throw.
And this does annoy Andy because Andy wants to see the sign and throw it. He doesn't want to think too much on the mound. He wants to trust the catcher and be on the same wavelength as him. Runners go. Double steal, swung and missed. No throw. And Posada fell down. I don't know if he got hurt there.
I got hit with a bat. That looked like a hit and run.
And they're going to send the runners back,
with
because of interference. So Ron Washington is going to argue with Hunter Wendelstedt. We'll see how he got hit on the replay, but he was staggered, like he'd been hit with a punch.
And again, that's in slow motion. It doesn't look like much, but in a full swing, I mean, that's a hit and run. Obviously, he went out of the zone, but he comes back and hits him with the barrel of the bat right in the ribs. Tell you what, you see, Georgie's absolutely just got crumbled right there. It looked like a punch.
Like a kidney punch almost. It was a little too high for the kidney, but he was staggered. So the runners have to be sent back. I don't understand why one of the runners isn't out. If they're sent back, then it was interference. One of the runners should be out.
Well, Bird should be out, right?
I would think so. No, Bird wouldn't be out. Well, one of the runners should be out. Have to ask the official scorer. That seems odd to me that you just send them back. Why? Well, if it was interference, one of them has to be out. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees.
You know, Washington's arguing. I mean, he took a swing. The catcher, I mean, Georgie's going forward to try to make a throw. As a hitter, I mean, you don't have to give ground. You don't have to get out of the way, but you can't interfere intentionally.
I don't think he interfered intentionally.
No.
Maybe that's what they're saying, that it wasn't intentional. Then why wouldn't the runners be allowed to steal?
We can call timeout and go talk to Wendelstedt here real quick.
We'll get a reading on this.
Texting. I'm sure you got him on speed.
Swing and a miss. Bird down on strikes.
You got a big break if you're the Yankees. I mean, the runners were sent back. Now you get a strikeout. Michael and I are going to get all the rules and regulations here before the inning's over. You see, there's a good cutter down and in, and that's set up by being ahead in the count. You see, Bird's, I mean, he's got that long follow through. So I'm trying to figure out what that first swing to the ribs was. Why the runners went back.
There's Chris Davis. Weak hack there. Gordon Damer's going to work the press box right now. I believe Steve Palermo, one of the umpire supervisors, is here tonight. Get a read on that. Davis swings and misses.
And you talk about swings and misses, and Davis, we talked about it a lot. And you see both those pitches out of the zone, but his swing stayed the same. He didn't adjust. He looks for that pitch, you know, kind of middle in low, and if it's not there, he's going to have a lot of problems.
That's a good at bat for Andy Pettit as he strikes out Chris Davis on 3 pitches.
Again, Andy's battling. I mean, he got a big out with Bird. Now he gets a big strikeout. Good cutter away. But this is the out that you need. You got to try to keep them off the board. Allow your offense to try to get back in this game, kind of change the momentum of the game.
There's Jared Saltalamacchia.
Again, I don't know how many times as a hitter as you'll go back, and if you know, who's to say what's going to happen in this at bat, but you'll look back at that pitch right there. I mean, you have to put that ball in play. You got a good pitch to hit. You're facing a good pitcher who made a mistake. You see, this ball just ends up right down Broadway. Good swing. He fouled it back.
Saltalamacchia has a vitamin hitting streak. He has a 9-game hitting streak, 1 hit a day, 9 hits.
Hit 250 his hitting streak. The thing about Jeter's hitting streak, what he's hit 429 or something, so it's just not 1 a day, 2 or 3 a day.
It's multiple vitamins.
Yeah, he's taking the daily multiples.
Now here's the ruling from Howie Carpenter, the official score. It was called unintentional interference. Okay. So the runners are sent back. It's the umpire's judgment. So that's why the runner was not out.
We learned a new rule tonight, Michael. This is why you got to watch every night. You learn new things every day.
Right. Crowd getting into it, looking for a 3rd strikeout from Andy Pettit. They get it. A big comeback for Pettit. The unintentional interference seemed to turn around the inning. He strikes out Marlon Byrd. Chris Davis is next. He'll strike him out. And then Jared Saltalamacchia goes down. Rangers strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 3rd.
play. It was a good call, because if it's intentional interference, if he feels like he did it on purpose, then Bird's out. And the runners are both sent back. But unintentional interference, I don't know that I've ever seen that called, but it's just a judgment call by the umpires. I mean, Bird did nothing. That's his follow-through. But it caused Georgie to not have a play. And so, you know, all it is send them back.
If you think about it, though, Paul, Texas really got the short end of that. That's a natural swing by Bird, and Posada was stepping forward to make a throw. He got into the swing.
Right. It's a break because, you know, both runners would have advanced, obviously. And Bird would have had a different at bat trying to drive in the guy from third.
Modell's scoreboard 4-1 Texas as Brent Gardner takes a pitch inside. Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. Let's see if that turns this around for the Yankees, because it turned it around for Andy Pettitte.
And if you watch the way Andy Pettitte finished that inning, I mean, those are some of the best cutters he's thrown all night. A couple big strikeouts, and if you're the Yankee team, you got to feel like, hey, he's got it on track now. We got to get back in this game, get him some runs.
And the 1-1 upstairs. 2-1 since May 13th. Gardner hitting .356 with a .453 on base percentage. He won the job out of spring training, started slowly. Then Melky Cabrera won the job back. But Gardner's taking advantage of his opportunities now. And those are the numbers we just gave you. May 13th, his last 20 games. He's an igniter. He makes a difference. He gets on base. He unnerves the team. And he works the count now full at 3-2.
You see Gardner, even the last couple of days, into long counts, and you know, make pitchers work to get you right there. I mean, so what if you go 3-1 to 3-2? You're allowing that pitcher to throw another pitch, throw in a walk, hopefully start a big inning for the Yankees.
Just want to give you the final rule book interpretation of that play. This is Rule 606C. If a batter strikes at a ball and misses and swings so hard he carries the bat all the way around, and in the umpire's judgment unintentionally hits the catcher or the ball in back of him on the backswing before the catcher has securely held the ball, it should be called a strike only, not interference. The ball will be dead, however, and no runner shall advance on the play. So that's what happened.
Thou shalt not steal. Huh?
That's the way we should all believe.
You know, I'm looking over at your, kind of peeking at your notes. It's like doing a game with one of my kids tonight. I'm looking over, I got a half-eaten chicken finger here, just thrown on the desk.
Oh,
like,
you should talk.
I'm smelling like I'm at Colonel Sanders over here. I'm like, what's going on? Where'd this come from?
If there's food within the general vicinity, you're going to find it.
Chicken fingers? Are you kidding me?
Very healthy. You eat before the game like you got an advanced tip on a family.
I thought we were going to be here a long time. I didn't know we were going to start on time.
It's not really a speedy game right now.
Again, most pitchers, I mean, somebody gets on first base, so what? I mean, I'm going to worry about the hitter. I'm going to get it. But you talked about Gardner's speed. Everybody in the league knows his speed. Pitchers pitch differently. They start rushing.
Gardner goes, oh my goodness, he could have almost caught the throw from Santalamacchia. What a jump. Stolen base for Gardner.
And the more he gets out there, the more he gets reads on pitchers, he's only going to get better. And you see he gets a great jump. I mean, he's almost moving before Feldman delivered the ball. He even started his delivery. Absolutely no chance of throwing him out here.
So now he's in scoring position, his 11th stolen base of the season. Paul, he plays every day and he hits .270. He's a 50, 60 stolen base guy.
I'm just thinking, I mean, where is the magic number for him? I think 270 or above, I think that's a pretty good call from him. I think that, you know, he's... And if you steal 50 or 60 bases and then you get on the other time, you're probably going to score 100 runs. And that's a big thing for a team. And here's a guy that he should learn from, Derek Jeter. He's a run-scoring machine.
And if he hits 270, Paul, his on-base percentage will be about 350, 360. and he'd steal 50 or 60 bases.
I think if you watched his last at bat, that just comes with a little confidence in how he took some pitches. Even, you know, if you get to a full count, you make pitchers make.
Broken back, ground ball is short. Gardner advances to third. The throw is to first. Jeter's out. Number one down, Gardner 90 feet away.
You know, back to, you know, taking a pitch 3-0, 3-1 to get to 3-2. You have to be confident, obviously, as a hitter to get there. But you're putting pressure on the pitcher to throw strikes. And, you know, usually if he walks, it turns into a double. So that's a lot of pressure on the pitcher. They start thinking, the wheels start turning. And, you know, you manufacture a run without hitting the ball out of the park, and sometimes you have to do that.
So now a ground ball or a fairly decent fly ball will give the Yankees a second run. Then 4-2, 4-1. Certainly they're right there. It's a chip away. Off-speed pitch for a strike.
Did you see that last clip there? I mean, the angle we had, all the lights, the colors of the new Yankee Stadium. Pretty neat. Look at that. It's like a picture. It's a high, I guess it is kind of a high-def picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know one thing. That scoreboard, have you ever seen this scoreboard here, Michael? Can't even draw it right here. Every once in a while, Johnny Walker gets up there. Have you seen the wheels on that guy? He runs around that scoreboard about 3 flat. You got to take a look at this when it happens. Johnny Walker has wheels. That's right. He could beat Gardner.
More like Johnny Runner. Can I give away a secret, Paul?
Absolutely.
That you tried to telestrate on the regular screen?
I did. I was wondering why. You know, when my son was up here early, I thought, you know what, that's it. I'm trying to telestrate. It's not working. He broke it. I was on the wrong screen for people. See, I got to touch this screen. That gives you a little picture. You see that? This one over here does absolutely nothing for you. I'm still learning up here, you know.
The 2-1 upstairs. Did he check? No, he did not. Said Doug Eddings, and the count 2-2.
Again, when you commit to a dead fastball, you swing out of the zone. It looks like Swisher had it all. His mind made up. He was going to get on that fastball.
Swisher's 9 for 14 this year, getting a runner in from third with less than 2 outs. And the count 3-2. It's amazing how many times Swisher is full in the count. He works the count full. Seems like at least once a game, usually twice. 37 pitches for Feldman.
Pretty good pitch from Feldman, and he got Swisher on the pitch before, up out of the zone, went right back to it. And Swisher now with 2 strikes, you know, a different hitter, looking for, you know, the ball, looking for a strike instead of, you know, trying to get out and catch that fastball and trying to drive it out of the park. Feldman's had a lot of success early in the game on these lefties throwing that cut fastball. Looks like it's coming again.
3-2. Foul away.
You see, that fastball didn't cut, and that ball kind of ran back out of the middle of the plate. Good pitch to hit. You see Nick Swisher right there. You see Sultan Omaki once said that you see the spin of the ball, actually almost a runner back out over the plate. That's why that cut fastball to lefties is such a dangerous pitch, because if you miss it all out over the plate, then it becomes just kind of a mediocre fastball.
And Swisher works a lot.
You know, it's funny. Then you see him kind of overthrow that thing and make sure that he gets it in. He kind of walks the ball 4.
Well, that 3-2 count on Swisher, his 45th full count of the year. There's Johnny Damon. Johnny struck out in the first inning.
You know, a lot of pitchers go at guys and think, well, I don't need to get Nick Swisher. I can walk him. I got a base open. But you know, then you got Johnny Damon coming up, who's, you know, is a contact hitter, very hard guy to double up with, gets out of the box quick. So I don't know if that's a smart way of pitching or not, to tell you the truth.
Damon whips one foul.
Again, now that ball's hit hard, but that's that good cut fastball. And if it's put in the right area, a left-handed hitter, the only way to really hit it hard is to do what Johnny Damon did right there, and that's to pull it foul. And that's what the pitcher wants. You see, that ball doesn't leak out over the plate, stays in there, kind of bores in, and as a lefty, you're going to do anything you can to put the barrel on it. So what do? You pull it in, you pull it foul. Same pitch up under his hands.
Damon's grounded into 2 double plays this year. The leader on the Yankees. Want to take a guess, Paul?
What was the question, Michael?
Grounding into double plays.
I would say Derek Jeter.
No. Cano, 7.
7?
Yeah. Count 2-1.
See that 2 fastball, that kind of a 2-seam fastball has movement away, so he's trying to move that fastball in and out. Didn't get the call there.
Popped up behind the plate.
Again, that's that cut fastball right on the inside corner. If you can put it there as a pitcher every single time against lefties, you're going to have success. But if you start missing, you're going to get hit hard. And I mean, there's such a fine line from making that pitch stay on the inner corner and moving off the plate. You just can't miss with it out over the plate.
The old Jeff Nelson.
It works every time.
It did for Jeff. Although when Brett Gardner didn't go in Cleveland, he said he was actually worried about that move. That's why he didn't go. He said, I was afraid I'd get picked off on the third to first move. So it must have some efficacy because people use it. Yankees down 4-1, first and third, 1 man out, bottom of the 3rd inning. Kicks away from Saltalamacchia, but the runners stay put. The count now full of 3-2, and on deck is Alex Rodriguez. Damon seems to enjoy hitting with 1 out this year, hitting .443 with 1 out. Now, we give you stats. I have no idea.
Where did that come from?
I don't
Ryan,
know
what'd
why.
you just plug in? 1 out? Huh? Did you get an answer from a 1 out plug out in there? Yeah.
1 out with 8:26 on the scoreboard clock. He's hitting .443. Let's see if they send Swisher. They do. Yeah, they do. And that one is ripped foul. Nick really, I mean, he's putting pressure on Damon to put the ball in play because he didn't get a jump at all. He's not leaving until the ball is released.
Well, the rule of thumb is if you get the run sign 3-2, it's almost like a hit and run. You're not supposed to get picked off. You're trusting that the batter's going to put the ball in play. And as a hitter, you know that too. When you see that runner going out of the corner of your eye, you know it's your job, if it's a strike, to put the ball in play. And I'm looking at this count, and I'm looking at the pitch sequences that Johnny Damon really hasn't had a good pitch to hit this at bat. Every cutter he's hit hard has been foul because he's kept that ball on the corner. The 2-seamer down he didn't get to. Just hope as a hitter that he makes a mistake before the count's over.
And he walked the bases loaded for A-Rod. 3 walks by Scott Feldman. Now Mike Maddox quickly out. Now A-Rod in the first inning hit an absolute bullet off of Feldman to pick up an RBI. And for A-Rod, it was his 21st ribby of the season. Arnold comes out to break things up. Lifetime against Feldman, A-Rod 2 for 6, one of the 2 a home run. The other one an RBI single in the first inning.
You said it last night. Was he at 17 grand slams?
17. 341 average. Those are the numbers Paul's talking about. Blowing away. 1-0. Feldman's lost the plate. Gardner third. Swisher second. Damon at first. A double could tie the game with Damon taking off from first base. Got a fastball by him, 1-1.
You see Alex. This is that swing. It's not that single swing. You know, he's trying to drive the ball, trying to put up a big number here.
And the count 2-1.
Wow. Just put Ryan on the spot over here. I want to know who had the all-time most grand slams. You know this, Michael?
I think it's Lou Gehrig.
Yeah, 23.
3-1.
Well, that's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but you see that he's getting a little tight. You know, I mean, it doesn't look free and easy. Now you're down to a point where you've got to throw a ball. You just hope that Alex Rodriguez hits one at somebody. And you're more than willing to give up a one run. You just don't want to give up that big gapper or that 18th grand slam.
And the pitch. Grounded softly to third. They step on third. Across the diamond. It's a double play with Davis with a backhand scoop. So Alex on a 3-1 pitch hit the ball softly toward third. The perfect spot for Michael Young, who was able to just step on the bag and then fire across the diamond. So the Yankee rally comes up with absolutely nothing. They strand two, and we go to the fourth inning, 4-1. Elvis Andrus catch pitch outside from Andy Pettit. Count 1-0 as we go to the fourth inning. Yankees are trailing 4-1. A wasted opportunity as Alex Rodriguez, who seems to be up with the bases loaded every couple of innings, rounds into a 5-5-3 double play.
You know, it's funny because Alex Rodriguez, everybody knows, is one of the best hitters in the world. And, you know, you get in a pull mode into an at-bat where you want to do more than the pitcher's going to give you. And you look at that 3-2 pitch, kind of a sinker, kind of down and away. 3-1 pitch, I'm sorry, you're in a pull mode where you're just going to absolutely kill one, and you just roll over. You see that ball sinking away, and you try to pull it. That's exactly what the pitcher wants. You see him stumble there. Hopefully he didn't tweak that little hip. But again, even the best hitters, you know, if you mentally get in a mindset of, you know, I'm going to pull the ball, I'm going to drive the ball out of here, you have to look at what the pitcher's trying to do. And, you know, could easily lace that ball to right field.
That's the thing we haven't seen from him yet. He hasn't been taking it to right center a lot. That's when you know that the rehab is complete, because that ball could be driven into the gap and you have a tie game.
Right.
And here at the stadium, that ball could be driven out easily. 3-2. Fouled away. Foul back. Andrus singled in the second. Stole a base, scored a run. And Andy walks him. And Andy's been all over the place in this game tonight. Let's take a look at the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. We told you about that triple play that happened 40 years ago, 41 years ago. The last triple play the Yankees turned, it was against Minnesota. And the question is, which player on the Twins hit into it?
You want to guess?
Not allowed to guess.
Oh, we don't have the answer yet?
No.
Oh, we got to wait a couple innings. All right.
No, just the bottom of the inning.
No.
Trying to get me fired. How'd the golf game go today?
I didn't play. I played with Mama.
How'd it go?
Well, it was close. That means I'm not playing well, right?
Or maybe Neville's a real good golfer.
She's only played for about a week, so it's not like she's a real good golfer. But I know one thing, she's got good shoes and pretty clubs. That's all that matters in her book right now.
And how'd that other game that you weren't allowed to talk about?
Exactly. That's the score I want to know. You know? Well, I mean, we talk about second base elite. There's a lot of good second basemen in the American League. And Ian Kinsler being one of them, and an all-star last year. Power and speed. He's hit for 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases in the same year. So it's a lot of talent here. No Yankee killer, though. He hasn't lifetimes only hit 200 against the Yankees. So for some reason, the Yankees have done a good job.
That one is looped out to Cano. Fires the first and not in time. So there's one away.
Again, Andy Pettitte gets in, Cutter gets right in on his hands. Anytime you see the second baseman have to charge a fly ball, a little pop fly, you know that it wasn't driven out of the infield. Looks like the right call.
There's Michael Young, struck out looking and singled to center.
You say, why does Andy Pettitte pick people off with that move? Well, you know, he's got an A move and a B move, and that's the B move to show runners, you know, that he's thinking about them, and then he's got that one good move. But you can't throw your best move out there every time, because the runners get a good read on it. That's the better one.
See, Andy's now wearing a mouth guard. He used to wear that when he pitched.
I don't remember. I think Rocket. I remember Rocket had one.
And I've seen lately Derek Jeter has one in the field as well. And it doesn't even seem like it covers the front of the mouth. It almost seems like it stops you from grinding.
I think that's what it is. When you adrenaline gets you grit in your teeth. I think that there you go.
A lot of people wear that to sleep so they don't grind their teeth.
My wife's one of them.
Really?
Golf game's getting to her.
Or you. The 1-0. Strike. We're in the fourth inning, 4-1 Texas. Yankees have had their opportunities. Haven't been able to get the big hit. Runner goes. Pitches high. Throw to second. And they are running wild on the Yankees in this first 2 games of the series. Second stolen base for Andrus.
Now, again, if you're going to steal off Andy Pettitte, it's probably on a guess. You can't sit and wait on his move. You probably just, you try to time him and you just guess that he's going to the plate. And that usually ends up not giving Jorge Posada a good chance of throwing you out.
Fouled away.
But again, if you look at what Texas has done, it's inning after inning, and Andy's the last inning and in this inning is throwing better, but they continue to put pressure on you. Walks, base hits, stolen bases, just enough to keep you under pressure where you never have that easy inning.
Did 82 pitches already. It's the 4th inning. Just missed. Rangers have 5 stolen bases this series. And now a walk again from Pettitte. Let's add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks for Pettitte in an inning, 3 1/3 innings.
Well, that's a situation there with Young, pretty good hitter, and Andy Pettitte might just go out with his bay. He walked him on a cutter down and in, thinking that possibly he can get Andrew Jones and hit into another double play.
Dave Island, the call to the bullpen. The 5 walks issued by Andy, that's his season high. Alfredo Aceves looks like he's ready to go. They try to pick off at second. Andrus is back.
Now, this is very frustrating for Andy Pettitte. I mean, he's so intense out there, and now he's got the running game kind of in his mind. And he really didn't have to worry about that because everybody knew he had a good move, but guys are starting to guess on him and steal from second base, and it's sort of taking him out of his rhythm. We saw it especially after that series where he stole home plate in Boston. And it just like the next game, it was like that was the only thing on his mind, was to worry about people stealing bases. And it can be a mental thing to pitchers.
Brett Tomko began to throw. Deep there by Aceves. And the Yankee bench is calling those throws to second base to give Tomko more time to warm. There's a strike. .85 pitches for Pettitte, 48 strikes. 7 hits, 5 walks, so 12 base runners in 3 1/3 innings. Now you wonder about Andy's toughness. Not that he doesn't have it, or you wonder if his toughness is forcing him to go out there and his back is bothering him.
Well, it hasn't been his velocity. It hasn't been, his pitch selection or anything. He's having trouble getting to one pitch that he can control for strikes. You see on some hitters, they'll try to throw that fastball, and some hitters he's getting that cutter or the breaking ball, and he hasn't got one pitch that he can go to in any count to throw a strike.
Well, you wonder, is his command off because of his back? But again, he said he's fine. And Joe Girardi and Dave Island watched him very closely, said he's fine. And he strikes out Andrew Jones for the second out. And that's the 6th strikeout for Pettitte.
Again, his strikeouts, obviously, when he's ahead in the count tonight, and then he can go leave the zone. Andrew Jones, you see, Georgie getting hit again. Andrew Jones, doesn't cut down with 2 strikes, swung through that ball, looked like he was trying to see if he could leave the world. And Andy Pettitte, again, is in a situation where, you know, if he can get another big out, you'll probably see him another inning.
Nelson Cruz takes pitch low. Count 2-0.
This is a point where most fans would look out there and say you got to go after the guy. There's nothing. There's no bases open. And in David Cohn's mind, we've heard him talk about, there's a base open, third base. It might load the bases, but you've got a guy on deck that you've handled all night in Murphy. So, you know, is there a base open? It doesn't always have to be first base that's open. If you load the bases up and get out of the inning, then you pitched around Cruz and didn't let him hurt you.
Almost makes sense here, Paul. Why don't you intentionally walk him on the 3-0? Why would you risk him getting a green light?
Well, it's just so weird to walk the bases loaded intentionally. But that's probably what Jorge's saying. You know, don't give in here. If you make some great pitches to get back in the count, great. But if you walk him, you got to look on that on deck circle and believe that you can get out Murphy, which you have all night.
There's a strike.
That's a dangerous pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a backdoor cutter right there, and that ball ended up cutting right over the middle of the plate. That's supposed to just go around the plate, and that ends up being just absolutely right down the middle of the plate. Dangerous pitch. Cruz looked like he was taking.
Swings at that one. Now the count 3-2. So the base runner's going to break. They'll be going on the full count, 2 outs.
Funny, as a hitter, you know, you look at that 3-0 pitch and you think, he's probably pitching around me, and then he throws that cut fastball. You don't know that he missed because you're not watching. It's right down the middle. Then you go out of the zone thinking, I guess he is coming after me. Andy Pettitte, you still have to be very careful here. You know, let Cruz get himself out or take ball 4.
Runners go. Pitches outside, another walk, bases loaded. He's walked the bases loaded. 6 walks on the night. A dangerous decision here for Girardi. The lefty batter is up. Andy's obviously struggling. Brett Tomko's ready. If you let Andy face Murphy, he makes a mistake, he might not have a chance in the game. Looks like he's going to stick with his veteran.
Well, I think you do. I think that you know as an ex-catcher that, you know, he was not going to let Cruz beat him, especially the way he's handled Murphy tonight. He had kind of a seeing eye hit, but he's had some bad hacks. And now you get out of the inning.
And Nick Swisher just beat him to the bag, thinking about flipping to Pettitte. Didn't, and then took him himself. Very dangerous move, but the Yankees escape unscathed. Should I flip it? No. I better hustle. And he just got the corner of the bag. So the Rangers A 4-1 Ranger lead. The Yankees have had their opportunities. Andy Pettitte has struggled quite a bit, but he's kept the Yankees in this. 4-7-0, leading 1-3-1. And Robinson Cano takes a strike from Feldman. Now, here's that last play, Paul. What are you seeing on this?
Well, you see that his back does hurt when he has to sprint. You see him kind of fighting through that. And Nick Swisher's got to know as a first baseman, your pitcher's gimping a little bit. Get over there, making an easy play. But the thing was, he made a good pitch. See Robbie hit one in the hole.
Got him. What a play by Andrus. Just got Cano. He doesn't agree with the call. We'll take a look.
He gathers himself so he can get something on the throw. We're going to see right here if it's a good battery.
Coors Light freeze cam.
Pretty close there. I don't know how. You see Nick Keller right there in the background. Got a good look at it.
I think he got him.
Good play on both ends. But again, back to that play. I mean, Andy, he pitched around Cruz. He made his pitch. He got his out. But you see him, as sprinting to first base. He was fighting that back a little bit. But I haven't seen anything in his delivery. I mean, he might be a little tight, but seems to be throwing the ball free and easy. Just doesn't have control of that one pitch that he can go to back, every hitter. And again, bases loaded, that's a big out, kept him in the game.
Do you realize though that the last time Andy walked 6 batters in a game was about 10 years ago?
Yeah.
October 1st, 1999, against Tampa Bay.
A lot of times when you have that many walks, you look up at the scoreboard and it's 10-1. It's 4-1 here, and the Yankees have missed a couple opportunities to be in this game.
One. Count 2-1. Now you wonder, do they let Andy Pettitte pitch the 5th because Tomko sat down, or maybe he just sat down because he's ready. He's thrown enough. We'll see soon enough.
I've been impressed with Feldman in this cutter. I mean, he's had the ability to stay inside on lefties, and everybody knows in Yankee Stadium that lefties look to pull because of the short right field. But if you can keep that cutter right in on the corner, not much you can do with it as a hitter.
Just missed outside. Tried to go back door. And the 3-2. A blooper toward short. Andrus is there. 2 away. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. On that last triple play the Yankees turned back in 1968. It was against the Twins. How about Harmon Killebrew?
I'm saying Killebrew and Oliva are the only 2 guys that I know are on the team, probably. So you got to go with either of those guys.
Let's see. Close. Johnny Roseboro.
Catcher.
Yep.
I thought he was with the Dodgers.
He was.
Didn't even know he played for the Twins. See, how can I know the answer when I didn't even know he played for the Twins?
One more question you didn't know, Paul.
It's another one of those.
But you bring a lot to the party. Here's Matsui. Strike.
Again, Feldman has just a good feel for that cut fastball to lefties, and I mean it's not Mariano's cutter, but it's good enough to get on Henry. He just jammed Jorge.
And a strike.
Goes back with takes a little off and kind of runs it away. So as a hitter, you're seeing the same pitch kind of fastballs, but different spin. One's cutting in on you, one's going away. The good pitch is that one that kind of tails away. That's the ball the lefty can really handle.
Strike 3. Matsui down looking, not in love with the call, but Feldman in love with that inning as he retires the Yankees in order. 1, 2, 3. Look a little up and away as we go to the top of the 5th. 4-1 Texas. Thank you, Bob. As Marlon Byrd fouls it back, Andy Pettitte does come out to pitch the fifth inning. Lexus scoreboard 4-1 Texas over the Yankees. Well, rest assured, Beckett will not get it because Bob's been on a real jinx run this year. He mentions it, the guy gives up a hit. It's 6 2/3.
Learn something from you.
Did I jinx Wells? Did I jinx Cone? Couldn't.
Did you have those days off?
No, I worked every inning. The 1-1.
When do you start talking about in the booth up here when you're doing those games? 6th, 7th inning?
First inning.
First out. Wow, 26 more, huh?
I think you start to take notice if it's 5 straight innings. And also you can see from the guy's stuff what type of stuff he has. Boy, Posada's had a rough night.
This is not surprising.
It never is. 0-1-2. 2-2. Andy's pitch total just at 100. Boy, has he labored today. This is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It's starting to rain here at the stadium. The 2-2. High fly ball deep center. Gardner back, still back on the track. He'll make the play in front of the wall. Well, let's check out how things are going with Beckett. And here he is, Jimmy Jinx. Thank you, Poison Pete.
You guys have a lot of names for each other, don't you?
Here's Chris Davis against Andy Pettitte. Pitches inside. You know, we joke about that, Paul. You can't believe the amount of emails you get, phone calls on the radio. People really believe in that stuff. I know you don't believe in jinxes or anything like that.
I mean, when you hear about some of the things.
Davis with a ground ball of Swisher.
It's setting up to be one of Andy's better innings, but I mean, if you think about some of the things that people believe in and the jinxes, and not surprising.
Wade Boggs with chicken. Hey, fans, now is your chance to own a piece of history from the original Yankee Stadium. Seats and other memorabilia now on sale at Yankees.com. All memorabilia comes with a Yankee Steiner letter of authenticity. For more information and to purchase original Yankee Stadium seats and other memorabilia, visit Yankees.com today and click the shop tab. Here's Salta LaMacchia. He pops it up, and that is Pettitte's best inning. It's his first 1-2-3 inning as Swisher puts it away, and he did it with just 9 pitches. 4.5 innings in the book. We are halfway through. by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Well, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Melky Cabrera will lead off against Scott Feldman. And there's a strike. This is Melky's second at bat. It'll be Gardner's second at bat next. Then it'll be the 3rd time that the Yankees will face Feldman. That one is chopped back to Feldman. 1 away, and on the Lexus scoreboard, Texas is leading the Yankees 4-1. Now, I mentioned that because the first time through the order, opponents hit 205 against Feldman. Second time through, they hit 197. Then in the 3rd time, they hit 345. They're 10 for 29 the 3rd time through. So does he run out of gas? Is his stuff drop dramatically, or do they just get a better look?
I think you get a better look, and you also I mean, he was from the bullpen early in the year. I mean, his arm strength is obviously getting better and better, but here's a guy, too, that wasn't a starter at the beginning of the year. But I tell you one thing, you see a curveball there. He's kept the left-handed hitters at bay by throwing cutters on that inside part of the plate all night, and he hasn't missed with it very often. And that's been his go-to pitch against lefties. He got a huge, double play with A-Rod from the right-hand side, but he's done a good job.
There's a strike. There's a strike. Along with Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network, and we thank you for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. It's been a struggle for Andy Pettitte, but the Yankees are still in the game. Texas leads 4-1. Ground ball to second. Kinsler to Davis. And then there are 2 away.
Got to believe that Andy Pettitte, that might have been his last inning. The bullpen's up and going, and then, you look what happened. He battled early in the game. I tell you what, he got the biggest outs in the game. Andy Pettitte got when to keep them in the game. It's 4-1 now. Could have easily been 6, 8-1. Whether he was battling his back or whatever, he made some big pitches to keep this team in the game, and he didn't have his best stuff. Again, I think that he didn't have a pitch that he could go to for a sure strike tonight, and that's a tough thing to do when you're facing a team that's been on a winning streak.
Pitch to Derek Jeter outside. Derek has a 16-game hitting streak, which he has yet to extend tonight. He's 0 for 2. Grounder back to the mound and a grounder to short. Bird in fairly shallow center. Jeter's got power that way. Bird shaded toward right center and pretty close. A lot of room between Bird and the wall. 70 pitches for Feldman, 42 strikes. Count 1-2.
What you watch Feldman, and he's thrown a lot of breaking stuff, a lot of cut fastballs and something, but I mean, it's not burning up the radar gun. But in 93, 95, I mean, good enough stuff where he can challenge hitters.
Just got a piece to stay alive.
And again, he's been so good at that outside corner to righties, inside to lefties, that it's it's smart on his part to continually, until they beat you in a certain area, continue to throw strikes in that area.
We were right by him. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And Feldman has retired 8 in a row. And with rain in the forecast, it's now an official game. We've played 5. office supplies. W.B. Mason, who but? That young man has a smile on his face. The seat's probably covered as it's starting to rain here at Yankee Stadium. And Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered. Oh, that was Eli Manning and Archie Manning. So the Manning family taking in Yankees against St. Those are good arms right there, Paul.
Just throw the wrong ball, right?
I bet you they could throw this one. New pitcher for the Yankees is Brett Tomko, and promptly Elvis Andrus serves a single into left field. See what Tomko's done in 6 games. He's 0-1, 5 innings, or 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks and a strikeout, an ERA of 3.38. Andrus is a threat to run. And the pitch to Kinsler is upstairs 1-0. Kinsler is 1 for 2 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. A lot of ribbies for a leadoff guy, 40. Served down the right field line, but it's a foul ball, and it makes the seats.
What do you think about that Manning thing? I mean, you know, Thanksgiving dinner or something. You think they talk football? You got 2 sons that are NFL stars. You got an ex-NFL star. Pretty cool, right?
And the 3rd son was supposedly a great athlete, and his back went out, but he was a wide receiver. 2 of the sons have Super Bowl rings, Super Bowl MVPs. There's a bunt, and it's a beauty. That's a base hit. Great bunt. So Kinsler with a single.
Again, Texas has done a lot of things to get on base. They've run, they've bunted, they've walked. But it seems like every inning they're putting pressure on Yankee pitchers and the Yankee defense. You said it, Michael. I mean, that's textbook right there.
And now you're getting to the part of the order that's dangerous. Michael Young. Andrew Jones, I guess, can be pitched to, but Nelson Cruz. So Tomko's in a jam, immediately relieving Andy Pettit. This could be 2. There's 1. On to first. It's a double play. Hit it right on the screws. That's the beauty of baseball. Can't place the ball. As Andrus moves to 3rd.
You're right, Michael. In a scoring opportunity, you get a good pitch to hit. You hit it hard. But you hit right at the shortstop. Tell you what, if you're Texas, though, I mean, you almost think that somehow that, you know, you got to get something going there just to tack on another run. You haven't scored in a while. You haven't put this game out of reach. And again, it's so hard to think of bunting or hit and run when, you know, you have a guy like Michael Young, who's a big part of your offense.
Andrew Young signed a 2-year contract with the Dodgers, about $18 million a year. Andrew Jones, I'm sorry. And he was so bad last year that they just bought him out. And he signed with Texas because he thought that maybe Jaramillo could help him out. He's hitting 284, so he's helping him out. He was an automatic out last year. Some people think he's gotten too heavy. Not as fluid as he once was in the outfield, and boy, proof positive is in the lineup today. He's the DH. Ground ball to 3rd. A-Rod fields it deep. The long throw got him. So Tomko works into and out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and because of the double plays, just 1 man left. Ground ball right down the line. Alex Rodriguez fields from foul territory, sets and fires. 7-7-2. I'll give you the answer after this pitch to Nick Swisher. Pitch is low. What is the final tally? Let's see, 55% think it's Mark Teixeira, 22% Damon, 12% A-Rod, Cano 6, and Posada 5. And Derek Jeter is presently leading the balloting for American League shortstops. That's why he was not on that list. Feldman's at 75 pitches, very economical, as Swisher fouls it away. And Feldman's thrown 100+ pitches in his last 4 starts. Not bad for a guy who made the transformation from the bullpen. 47 strikes, 29 balls. And because Nelson or Nolan Ryan has passed down this edict from above as the president, they don't want to worry too much. They don't want to stress over pitches that much. He thinks that pitches should be able to go, give them length. I think that's a novel thought, and if you're going to raise your pitchers like that in the organization, great. But how often does a team have all 5 starters coming out of their organization? You're going to get for people, you're going to make trades for people, sign people from other teams, and they're not going to be quote unquote bred that way. It's going to be hard to do. 2-2.
Yeah, but if that's a mindset here, I mean, how many young pitchers are going to come into an organization and argue with Nolan Ryan? I mean, he's an idol to most guys that grew up being pitchers. So, I mean, if it's a mindset in this organization and it works, don't think it's not going to show up in other places too, because it's funny. It's whatever's going on in the culture of baseball right now. You see how teams change all the time.
And strike 3 to Nick Swisher. So on his 46th full count, he strikes out looking and is unhappy with Hunter Wendelstedt.
Tonight after the postgame, the celebrated coach of the Duke Blue Devils, Mike Krzyzewski, sits down with the all-new center stage with Michael Kay to talk about his incredible career in coaching the gold medal winning USA basketball team. It's a brand new center stage tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. You got to watch the postgame first, Mike.
Yes. I'll tell you what, that's a good show. He was really good. And because you asked me, and because there's a certain kinship, we're teammates now up here, I said to Coach Krzyzewski, I said, Paul O'Neill wants to know if he and his son can come watch practice down at Duke.
He didn't say who?
And he said, Paul O'Neill wants to watch practice? I said, yeah. He said, open invitation.
Absolutely. That's cool.
So I'm going with you guys.
Yeah.
And they're going to cater it, too. I heard they cater practice.
We'll bring the pizza ourselves. How's that? That'd be cool, huh?
That would be great. I'm sure he runs a very organized practice. Yeah. Ground ball up the middle. Andrew shows a lot of range. And Damon eludes the tag by Davis. That should be an error on the shortstop. He had more time than he thought.
Andrews gets to the ball in plenty of time.
Take a look at the Coors Light freeze cam. Freeze it right there.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot, huh?
Did he get first? Did he drag that toe on first? And it is an E6 on Andres. Boy, it must have been the nail on his big toe that got first base.
A little spark off his spike.
Maybe. Here's Alex Rodriguez. He had an opportunity to get the Yankees back in this in the third. Bases loaded, one out. Ground ball to third, a 5-5-3 double play.
It's funny, you look at those plays right then, and they happen so quick when you're playing. And you know how it's kind of difficult to stutter step and reach back when you have metal spikes. I mean, it's very easy for him to catch, and you trip and everything else. And it's not like running in tennis shoes or something. I mean, there's spikes on the bottom of this shoe right here, and you know, every time you try to stop and take another step, it's very easy to catch that spike on something.
They never went back and tagged him anyway, so once Johnny got the first, that did complete the touch with the first base umpire. Brian Knight thought he did touch the bag. He signaled safe. 4-1, Texas leads the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Damon goes. And the pitch foul back. I don't know if that was a hit and run, but if it was, Paul, I don't mind the idea because I think they're trying to get Alex to go to right field, and that was the hole.
Yeah, and I mean, the pitch was away. You would imagine that Johnny Damon is on his own. I don't know if you're going to give Alex Rodriguez a hit and run. But again, you're right. Sometimes when hitters are getting pull conscious or things like that, you will throw a hit and run out there just to have them see the ball and hit it where it's pitched.
One other thing about Krzyzewski, do you realize that in a couple of weeks he's going to get the same award that you got a couple of years ago, the Father of the Year award here in New York?
Oh, that right?
Yeah.
That was a neat banquet. Yeah, I enjoyed that. He seems to me like a Mr. Details guy. You know, I mean, after just doing that center stage, you get a feel of that.
Yes, absolutely. He's got it all together, and that's why he gets respect from both college and pro players.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you just, any player that ever played for him, have you ever heard a bad thing said about him?
No. Kobe loves him. The Lakers offered him $40 million to coach their team. He turned it down. 1-2. Foul back. I get the feeling that when you get back to the penthouse hotel room you have, that you're going to be watching center stage today.
Yeah. Aaron and I. Aaron's my son who loves basketball, so wait till I tell him we got an open invitation. We'll watch Duke.
And now one gets past Davis, and he'll go down the right field line. David makes the turn. He's going for third. The throw is off the glove of Young, but Feldman backs up. So that is a costly error. 2 errors here are allowed. Damon at third with 1 out.
You see that there's really no chance for Davis, and this kind of with that ricochet gets caught in nowhere. Nobody can get to it quick enough. And I tell you what, if Michael Young doesn't get a glove on this ball, he just knocks it down enough where Feldman can get over there. If he doesn't get a glove on the ball, Johnny Damon scores because that ball is going to the bleachers. Johnny Damon, you see, doesn't rely on his third base coach, gets a read, knows he can score. Feldman right here has got to realize, you know, he's got a 4-run lead. Don't try to pitch perfect. If you give up a fly ball or if you give up a ground ball, get an out, even if you give up this run.
1-2, and he strikes out A-Rod. So A-Rod, who had a hard single against him in the first inning, a double play, now a strikeout.
Again, he's pitched to most people away all night. All of a sudden, he throws a good 2-seam fastball, runs in on A-Rod's hand. A lot of times when pitchers don't throw you inside, but then you get an opportunity with a man on third base, they'll use that inside corner to try to jam you, try to keep the ball in the infield. See Alex try to pull those hands in, but he was just beat too much. As a hitter, you almost hope that you get jammed and just foul that ball off to get yourself another chance.
And Cano with a ground ball to Kinsler, so Feldman works around the 2 errors, and the Yankees don't get a run. No runs, no hits. 2 errors, and 1 man left on base. Let's go to the 7th inning. It's 4-1 Texas. returns for the first of 3 new episodes this summer. It all kicks off with 80s great Dave Winfield, profiling one of the team's most feared hitters. The Yankeeography Dave Winfield premieres next Wednesday at 11, only on Yes.
No, I just read the last Yankeeography thing. Did I flunk the course? You got that one.
No, you read a center stage one.
I can't go back-to-back innings?
You read a center stage one, so I don't think Lorne Michaels there is going to be calling
you know what about
SNL.
Lorne Michaels, though?
What?
Did you see in the magazine a couple years ago, they showed Lorne Michaels' desk?
Right.
Do you know the importance of this story?
No, I don't.
You don't even tell me?
No.
He had a bobblehead of me on his desk. Is that large? Well, Saturday Night Live bobblehead.
He's all about funny.
There you go. Look, he's texting. Probably texting to you, Michael.
I wish. That would be cool to get a text from Lorne Michaels. I mean, the guy was on center stage.
Who isn't on center stage, Michael?
You
got
were
everybody.
You
I know.
were
Well, way back before you got large. You know?
And the 1-2. Low and away, 2-2. And the pitch. Grounded to A-Rod. They just get the hustling cruise. That's impressive, running that hard down the line. As A-Rod just nailed him, 1 away.
You know, it's funny how this game started out. You know, Pettit was struggling. Feldman was in a couple jams. You know, the Yankees got out of it. But again, this looked like it was going to be a game of nothing but offense. So Cruz get down the line pretty well. But all of a sudden, you know, the pitching is kind of straightened out, and then, you know, you're still in a 4-1 game.
Now, did you see on that replay Posada hustling down the line? Now, if I had my 37-year-old catcher, I mean, how many throws get by that the catcher actually backs up? I'd say, listen, don't do it. Save your legs.
You know, it could be that one that you don't do it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you
one
might,
that goes by.
But you might be taking at-bats away from at the end of the year. I mean, look at him hustling down the line. Yeah. He's got a match step by step with Cruz.
This is just a reaction play. I mean, you've done this so many years that you just react to it, and you don't think about it.
Come on, your reactions are a lot slower now that you're 40, whatever.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
That impresses me. You see catchers in St. Louis, 110-degree day in July, and they're just flying down the line.
There's no doubt. What position on a baseball field is the most taxing? You know, it's a catcher. There's no doubt about it.
A-Rod, again, with 2 outs. I remember there was an old-timers day here. I think it was the first one that Girardi actually played in, and he did that.
Again, it's just a reaction, but again, he's probably halfway down the line figuring out, you know, I probably don't have to do this in the old-timers game. Yogi was probably still in the box while Girardi was looping around, right?
We're in the top of the 7th inning here at the new house. It's 4-1 Rangers over the Yankees. Now, do I have funny friends, Paul? Somebody just texted me and said, hi, I'm Lorne Michaels. Pitch is low. 1-1. Come on, text me, Lorne.
He just did. Tired, man.
Count 2-1.
I tell you what, you're talking about Saturday Night Live, and recently Will Ferrell's been all over the place because of his movie. Is there a funnier guy than Will Ferrell?
He seems like he was made for us.
Exactly. And he's a Yankee fan, too. I met him years ago one time. And he talked nothing. I mean, he knew baseball. He knew Yankee. It was really, really cool.
Well, can you give him a call and get him on center stage? We've tried.
I always wondered if, you know, that was back when you had the uniform on. And, of course, they want to talk about baseball. I mean, right now, if you were introducing him, I didn't even know who you were. I was wondering, you know, how much he's changed. But I saw him this morning. I saw him last night on talk shows. And funny guy.
His new movie, Land of the Lost.
Yeah.
Which is a remake of the 1960s movie. Swing and a miss. That's an impressive inning for Brett Tomko. He retires the Rangers in order 1-2-3. Now it's up to the Yankee offense to get something going. As at the end of 6.5, the Rangers lead the Yankees 4-1. Time for the 7th-inning stretch, but we'll stay right here. Thanks, Bob. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, Rangers lead the Yankees 4-1. You know, there's rumors in Boston that Big Poppy might be permanently benched, so him getting a big hit like that,
yeah, I was
maybe.
going to say, I mean, that's got to be a welcome sight if you're a Red Sox fan, but there's nobody here listening as a Red Sox fan. But, you know, Big Poppy's a big part of that offense and in baseball. And
Yankees run out of time as Jorge Posada takes a pitch outside 1-0. It's 4-1. It seems like, if you're watching the inning, that the Rangers lead by a lot more, but 4-1 is really nothing.
Well, you look at all the zeros after the 2nd inning, and the one thing it just came in my mind, and you know, Feldman's thrown a good game, he's made good pitches, but what's different in the Yankees tonight is Teixeira's not in the lineup. I mean, you've taken some of the offense. He's been a big part of you know, the production of this offense, and all of a sudden you take him out for one night and you're having trouble scoring runs. And you know, a lot has to do with the way Feldman's throwing the ball tonight, but all of a sudden, you know, a game off and then the run production's down.
That one's drilled deep to right field. Does it have the height? Yes. See ya. Solo home run Posada. It's 4-2 Texas. And you can see Burnett said, well, that's one. Boy, Posada is really swinging the bat well.
From last night to tonight, he's had some of the best at-bats. And this ball right here, before I talk and get it out, it's going to be in the bleachers. That's just a dead 2-iron line drive right down the line. And that's that cut fastball It kind of loses its cut at the end, and it becomes just a fastball in the inner part of the plate. Any angle you want to look at it, that's a bullet.
That's 1-2 more, and the game will be tied. So Posada with his 8th home run of the year. 24th ribby. Remember, he missed 22 games. Here is Matsui. Count 1-0.
Smart pitch right there by Saltimbanqui. I mean, you give up a home run on that cut fastball, so what? It's been so successful all night. You've got to stick with it. You see C.J. Wilson up in the pen. Had a good year out of their bullpen.
.94 pitches for Feldman. And now Maddox wants to talk with him. And you wonder, young pitcher, do you get unnerved giving up a home run like that?
Well, the thing is, you've had so much success. I keep going over it on that one pitch, and all of a sudden you give up a home run with it. You got to realize, and Maddox does a good job of running out there and realize that, you know, that's one pitch. You still got a lead. You're still pitching a good game. Let's get a couple more outs before we give this thing to the bullpen.
Popped up. Left side of the infield. The third baseman Young called off by Andrus. And there's one away. Hey, fans, celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium this Friday, June 5th. The Yankees take on the Rays with a special giveaway. The first 18,000 fans, 21 and older, are going to receive a Yankee Stadium figurine courtesy of Sports Authority. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. There's the real thing as Melky Cabrera takes outside. And Feldman this inning falling behind more than he has been as he's closing in on 100 pitches. He's at 97. Brett Gardner on deck. Ground ball up the middle. Kinsler fields off balance throw. Not in time. Base hit for Cabrera.
Good Feldman. I mean, he got in. It sounds like he broke Melky's bat. All got in on him a little bit. Once you get it by the pitcher, if you're Melky Cabrera, you smell that hit. Kinsler makes a good play, but it's an off-balance throw, Michael, like you said. I don't think he would have had him anyway.
Well, with the lefty Gardner due up, he's going to take the ball from Feldman. He's going to call on his left-hander C.J. Wilson. So Texas holding on, leading 4-2. Wilson against Gardner. When we get back, you come with us. Rangers complete coverage starts at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. It's the Rangers and the Yankees tomorrow starting at 12:30 only on YES. It was supposed to be CC Sabathia. The Yankees made the change before the game today. Chin-Ming Wang back in the rotation. Sabathia is going to start on Friday, and Phil Hughes has been moved to the bullpen. Scott Feldman's numbers: 6 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. He threw 98 pitches. He leaves a runner at first base. He's leading 4-2, and he turns it over to C.J. Wilson. Those are the numbers on Wilson. And there's a strike. Wilson's last 7 appearances, 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, no runs. There's a ground ball to second, and that's all they get. With Gardner running, they're now going to turn 2. So a 4-6 force, and that's going to bring up Derek Jeter, and Jeter's running out of time to extend his hitting streak.
And if you look at Gardner's bat, I mean, first pitch slider away, and as a left-hander, all of a sudden you start to inch out there to cover that slider away. Wilson throws him a hard two-seamer in on his hands. Good piece of pitching.
Jeter against Wilson, 2 for 5, 1 of the 2 a home run. Jeter's 0 for 3 tonight. And the pitch. There's a strike. 97 miles an hour. Now this year, 2009, 7th inning on, Derek's hitting .333 with 4 homers and 14 ribbies. That one he took a little something off, 96 miles an hour on the outside corner.
Took a little bit off.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, and it's funny because what's surprising is you don't see a lot of left-handers coming out of the bullpen throwing 96 miles an hour with a breaking ball. So, you know, you went over his recent stats, and it's not surprising when you see a guy throwing like this.
The 0-2, strike 3, Jeter down looking. And he thought that pitch was too far inside as Wendelstedt has a quiet discussion with the Yankee captain. Must have nipped the inside corner, but the Yankees get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. And Scott Feldman likes what he sees. Yankees lead 4-2. Brett Tomko in his 3rd inning of work. And Chris Davis with a fly ball to shallow center. Gardner's there. 1 down. Hey fans, tonight and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the two of us here in the booth for the Chevy Player of the Game. All you have to do is text your vote to 58772. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Scott Feldman, number 2, Ian Kinsler, number 3, Nelson Cruz, number 4, Jorge Posada. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here's Saltalamacchia. There's a strike. Two strikeouts for Saltalamacchia. Then he popped up to Swisher in the 5th. And Saltalamacchia skips rope.
It's been very quiet. We haven't talked much about it. See Tomko trying to reach back and run one in on his kneecap there. But he's done a great job catching. Defensively, handles the pitchers well. And a lot of times when you turn it, as an organization, kind of turn it around as a pitching organization, a lot has to do with the catcher, too. So you have to give him credit. Done a good job defensively. Calling the game. A great job for Feldman tonight by continually throwing that cutter in on lefties.
Count is full at 3-2.
He's had a couple pitches tonight. I think I said this in the last at bat. He just fouled off a good pitch, and there was another one. A good fastball right down the middle of the plate, just missing it. As a hitter, when you're going well, you're hot. You don't miss those pitches. You don't foul them off.
Grounded foul.
Did you hear that Teixeira thing was just a one-day?
Yeah, they think he should. The X-rays were negative. So should be back in the lineup tomorrow. Strike 3. Saltalamacchia down looking. Tossed the bat away and was heading to first. Hey fans, after the final out, Bob Lorenz and Kenny Singleton have a complete wrap-up of this game against the Rangers, and then they'll take a look around the majors as well. Plus, Gordon Damer will talk to the team in the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's right here on Yes. There's a strike to Elvis Andrus. 2 for 2 with a walk. 2 stolen bases, a run scored. Foul back.
Tomko's come in and kept the Rangers right where they were. That's all you can ask from a guy coming out of the bullpen.
He battled in spring training to win a job out of spring training. Actually did well, but it was a numbers game. Went down to the minor leagues. Yankees had to call him up by a certain date or he could just declare himself a free agent. He's done a nice job up here.
It's funny. It's kind of the reversal of Feldman. I mean, Feldman came from the bullpen. Now he's doing great things as a starter. And most of Tomko's career, especially early in his career, he was a starter, 4th, 5th starter on a couple teams. And now he's found, kind of a place out in the bullpen.
That one's popped up. Nick Swisher near the seats. And he can't make the play. Ran out of room.
It's funny, as an outfielder in this play right here, I mean, your best thing to do is to sprint to the wall and see if you have a play. You get caught drifting. Good pitch by Tomko.
Paints the outside corner and Andrus down looking. So 9 in a row by Brett Tomko. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees are trailing this one 4-2. We go to the 8th inning. The Yankees are trailing this one 4-2, running out of time. C.J. Wilson on a relief of Scott Feldman. He'll face Swisher, Damon, and A-Rod here in the 8th inning. 2, 3, and 4 in the Yankee order. Nick is 1 for 2, doubled in the first, and scored the Yankees' first run on a single by A-Rod. The Yankees have already had 4 wins when trailing after 7 innings. They had 4 all of last year in those situations. And the count 2-0. Took something off that pitch and laid it in there for a strike. Crowd of 44,452 here at the ballpark. There's that good fastball strike on the inside corner, 2-2.
That's impressive. 96, 97 with a good breaking ball. Again, you talk about kind of the reversal of things here in Texas. It's becoming more of a pitching organization, and Wilson a big part of that bullpen.
And once again, the 47th time this year that Swisher has worked the count full. Payoff. Grounded in the hole. Grabbed there by Andrus. The off-balance throw. Almost got him, but not in time. Good stretch by Davis. What a play by Andrus. But an infield single for Swisher. Had to earn it with every last step.
You see Swisher's route to first base. He ends up 3 or 4 feet on the infield lawn there. Andrus makes a great play, kind of like Derek Jeter has made over the years.
Well, there it is right there. He never even came up with it. I wonder if he'd come up with it if he would have gotten it.
Would have been close. I don't know. You see Swisher, all of a sudden you look down, you're like, where am I? I'm taking a kind of a loop route here.
Yeah, he was running by the pitcher.
Oh, he
might have got him. Yeah,
I think he had.
Pitch to Johnny Damon is upstairs. 1-0. So the tying run is at the plate for the Yankees. Alex Rodriguez is on deck. Frank Francisco, the closer for this team. Nick Kelleher with the play. Damon has 10 home runs. He has hit the Damon's deck out there and right a number of times this year. But a tough left-hander on the mound. Boy, no one breaks more bats than Johnny Damon. It's not even close.
Nick Keller's first error of the year. Picked a couple. Said now he booted.
Some coaches don't even like to try.
That's right.
You don't try, you can't make it in.
Well, he's the next big league player. He knows how to get down there and catch that ball. You say most guys, I mean, you take a couple bats out for the game. You've got your reserve one and your gamer. Johnny Damon might bring a box with him.
He might have to. Well, absolutely.
Good 4 or 5 a night.
Seems like he breaks 2 or 3 a night.
You know, what's funny is he'll get jammed with the most unorthodox swing you've ever seen, but then, you know, before the night's over, he'll center one up and hit it in the upper deck. It's crazy.
Oh. That knocked Mike Maddox down the steps. Now he's trying to act cool, but he came down 3 steps quickly. Trainer checks him out.
pulled a hammy.
There's a quick back pedal. Ron Washington wants no part of it.
The white flag up there. And that's there for a reason.
And the longer the at bat, the better chance you have. Jeter and Gardner talking it over. Alex Rodriguez is on deck. Popped up. And Andres makes the call on the catch. Time to take a look now at the Land Rover drive of the game, and this took place in the previous inning, Paul.
Yeah, Jorge Posada, we talked about how well he's been swinging the bat. And an absolute line drive. His 8th home run of the year. Last couple of nights, Georgie has swung the bat extremely well.
Now, this could be a fun matchup. You got a guy who throws 96. You got Alex Rodriguez, who if he centers up in 96, could put one in the left field bleachers to tie the game. He drove in a run in the first, but he's left 4 runners on since then. Bases loaded in the 3rd inning. He wrapped into a double play, and then a runner on 3rd with 1 out in the 6th inning. He struck out. 97 to count 1-0. Lifetime against Wilson. Alex Rodriguez hitless in 7 at-bats. Off-speed pitch.
Dead changeup. I mean, that's all of a sudden you see 97. You saw him get Johnny Damon out with a kind of a slider. And here's a changeup. Good changeup, too. 87 miles an hour. 9 or 10 miles quicker. I mean, it's early in the count when you haven't seen it. That's tough. And then you come back with the 97. So, I mean, Wilson has been impressive. He's come out of the bullpen, and you can tell by just the look. He's got that look like he trusts his stuff. Doesn't matter who's hitting, whether it's A-Rod or Jeter or anybody. He's going to throw strikes. Kind of got that ego on his fastball, but he's throwing the ball well.
Count 2-2. Seventh inning or later this year, 292 for A-Rod. Overall 253. He has 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in. And he strikes him out. Something off speed down and away. A-Rod strikes out, and here's the booze.
If you look at the pitch by pitch, I mean, you come out of the bullpen, you know he throws hard. Slider down, good changeup. Good fastball. He kind of overthrows a fastball in, but that sets out another changeup away. That's tough pitching right there.
Here's Robinson Cano. He's 0 for 3. 97 up high, 1-0. Along with Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball on the Yes Network. And we thank you for joining us on this Wednesday evening. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Rangers lead the Yankees 4-2.
You know, I'm just thinking, looking at Wilson come out of the bullpen, guy throws this hard. Is he a guy that, you know, you give a couple days off like Jabba almost a couple years ago, but, you know, this is his 24th appearance, so he obviously can pitch a lot of games, keep this velocity. What a strength to have in the bullpen as a left-handed reliever that can get out right-handers and left-handers just because of his velocity. And obviously has a good changeup he uses to righties. He got A-Rod with. He got that pop-up to Johnny Damon before that with the slider. So
chop over the mound. And this Andres could play some shortstop as he guns down Cano for the final out. How many shortstops make that play?
Duke Blue Devils, Mike Krzyzewski sits down for an all-new center stage with Michael Kay to talk about his incredible career in coaching the gold medal winning USA basketball team. It's a brand new center stage tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. Brand new center stage, but it wasn't a brand new read because I had an earlier practice.
You did this one better than the first one.
I just asked Audrey, why can't they just rerun it, you know, from the one I did before? They didn't like my first read, so I had to do it again.
Yeah, that's not the type you rerun.
Oh, okay.
Although it's not that tough.
Man, come on.
That first one was a Yankee classic.
Oh, that's right.
David Robertson, the Yankees' third pitcher. Brett Tomko did a really good job. 3 shutout innings. And those are Robertson's numbers. He'll face the top of the order, Ian Kinsler. Pitch outside. 1-0. Kinsler with 2 hits and a walk. Lined out to second. Foul ball. Robertson, a good fastball and a very good curve. As the closer, Frank Francisco gets ready. Count 2-2. Tied him up with a breaking ball. And the count 3-2.
You talk about Francisco, and he's known around the league for having great stuff as being a tough closer. But I tell you what, Wilson out of the pen tonight had closers kind of stuff.
Popped up and out of play. This game delayed 12 minutes at the start. It was raining for much of the 6 o'clock hour here at the stadium. 5 o'clock hour as well. Didn't even seem as if we would be able to have baseball, but it cleared up. There's been intermittent showers throughout the game, but nothing that would impact the game. And here we are in the 9th inning. And Kinsler works a walk. Time now to take a look at the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
Well, with bases loaded, I don't know if it's the best defensive play we've seen all night, but I tell you what, this play right here, the score holds up, is what changed the game for the Texas Rangers. Double play with bases loaded.
That was in the 3rd inning. The game was still young. And that could be a game changer, as Paul said, especially if it ends up this way. They picked off Kinsler. He was sleeping against the right-hander, and he gets tagged out by Swisher. Boy, you don't want to get picked off by a right-hander by that much.
And he got caught leaning. He was going. There's no doubt about it. That the Texas Rangers are going to try to run every opportunity they have. And Ian Kinsler was trying to cheat, get a better jump. It happened.
And if the runner takes off towards second, it's a caught stealing. If he just heads back to first and you pick him off, it's a pickoff. It's just clerical.
You know what that was, Michael? That was runner indifference.
Runner indifference, I like it.
Instead of defensive indifference, which I still don't understand. That was runner indifference.
All right. Count 1-1. Count 2-1. And the pitch. Missed outside. 3-1.
We talked about Boston earlier. They're kind of beating up Detroit. Tampa Bay's beating up Kansas City. Toronto's losing again. Give me your make on that, Michael. I mean, has Toronto had their good run and now they're just kind of hanging out, or are they going to be in this division all year?
I don't think they will. I don't think that they're pitching for it. They're playing better teams now, and they're losing. They actually did beat the Red Sox 2 out of 3, but they lost to the Yankees 2 out of 3, and I just can't see them hanging. I don't think they have the pitching.
Think Tampa Bay is going to make a run?
There's so many injuries.
And now Longoria.
You know who's closing for them now? Randy Choate.
So does say something about your pitching staff, doesn't it?
Percival's hurt again. Isringhausen is not pitching well, so Randy Choate's doing a lot of the closing. Scott Kazmir's on the DL. Ewell Moore is out for the year. Young strikes out. 2 away.
Right in mid-sentence, you just threw that in. Young strikes out.
So there's 2 away.
Again, when you have that good curveball in the back of the mind, the hitter knows, and you see that ball up in the zone, kind of waving at it. We just gave you an award. We gave you the play of the game for that double play you turned. So.
Andrew Young. Why I keep saying Andrew Young?
You're getting me messed up too.
Michael Young and Andrew Jones.
I'm starting to believe you over here.
Andrew Young, former UN diplomat. I think he was the Atlanta mayor at one point. This is Andrew Jones, used to be the Atlanta center fielder. Off the end of the bat. Damon is there, and that's going to do it. So the Rangers do not score in the 9th inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? They trail 4-2. Was voted on by you, the fans, and the 2 of us here in the booth. Who was it, Paul?
Scott Feldman. I mean, we talked about he's been on a roll after coming to the rotation, and he's pitched well on the road all year. 6.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 98 pitches. But I'll tell you what, he threw the ball well. Nothing fancy, just went after people and stuck with what was working, was that cut fastball in on lefties. Stayed with it all night.
Now here's Frank Francisco. Will try to close it out. The Rangers lead 4-2. Yankees won last night 12-3. So the Rangers trying to even the series in the middle game. The 3rd game of the series is tomorrow. It's a 12:30 start with our pregame show. And then 1:05 with the first pitch. And Chin-Ming Wong back in the rotation will get the start for the New York Yankees. Starting for the Texas Rangers, it'll be Brendan McCarthy, a right-hander. Now, in Francisco's last outing, he gave up a run for the first time this season. So a 0.48 ERA, 11 hits in 18 and 2/3 innings, 19 strikeouts, 5 walks, and he's picked up 11 saves.
Kind of like Mariano numbers there, huh?
Hard-throwing right-hander. He'll face Posada, Matsui, and Cabrera. Posada's 2 for 3. Last time up, a laser into the short porch and right. His 8th home run of the year.
mention it, Michael, but I mean, it's a cold Tuesday night. School's not out yet. We had a good, or Wednesday night, I'm sorry, had a good crowd. It's like some of them have filed out, but looks like the cool thing to do is to get out to New Yankee Stadium. And I still feel now that life is coming back into the stadium that wasn't here in the first couple of series.
I think the first couple of series, people were still like, they were here for the stadium, not for the game. And now they're here for the games. So the count is 0-2 on Posada. The 0-2. 1-2. Yankees have 18 come from behind wins this year and 6 walk-offs. Strike 3, Posada looking. Now, how could that be, Paul? That was right down the middle. Was he actually looking off speed?
Yeah, every once in a while you get caught into what somebody's going to throw you. You just absolutely freeze on that fastball. And as good as Georgie feels at the plate, once in a while, just you get in your mind what that guy's going to throw you, and you just lock up.
There's Matsui. Some gas out of the bullpen. 97 for C.J. Wilson, 95 for Frank Francisco. More gas. And another strike.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if you're Nolan Ryan, you've got to just be snickering right now or smiling at something. Here's guys that have good stuff coming out of the pen that just have that attitude. Hey, you're not going to hit me. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to go after you. And I tell you what, all of a sudden, as a hitter, you feel pressure on the hitter. This guy believes he's going to get me out. He's going to overpower me. And it almost sends a message. I mean, it's a good thing to see pitchers who believe in their stuff. They're going to throw strikes and believe they're going to get you out.
The 1-2. Lofted to center field. It's shallow. Coming on as Bird. And the Yankees are down to their final out. And after the final out, Bob Lorenz and Ken Singleton will have a complete wrap-up of this game against the Rangers and then a look around the majors. Plus, Gordon Damer talks to the team in the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame, and it's right here on Yes. It's coming up. Maybe would like to put it off for a while. There's Melky Cabrera. Melky's 1 for 3. Foul back. Well, Mark Teixeira didn't start today because of a sore ankle. He got that sliding in the second in the game yesterday in the 4th inning. But the fact that he's not on deck could be the tying run, tells you that he's not able to go tonight. Count 0-2, so they're down to their final strike. Popped up. Kinsler back, and he'll make the play, and that's going to do it as Francisco works a 1-2-3 ninth, and the Rangers win this one 4-2. So Derek Jeter's 16-game hitting streak is over. He was 0 for 4 tonight. Alex Rodriguez didn't get it done in the clutch a couple of times, and the Yankees lose this one 4-2.